Hello, we have a video today on adding and subtracting one-step inequalities, and we'll also work a little bit on graphing those. Great news for you. When we are talking about solving one-step inequalities, you would solve one-step inequalities the exact same way you would solve one-step equations. For some reason, the symbol that we see in inequalities often throws students off, but you can treat this in your mind as though that's an equal sign, and then you can solve it the exact same way that you normally solve one-step inequalities. As a review here, when we're talking about solving these, we need to know our inverse operations here. When you see a problem with a subtraction sign to begin with, you need to do the opposite of that, which would be addition. If you see addition to start the problem, you would need to do subtraction there. As a reminder, the goal for these problems is to get the variable by itself. So isolate the variable is your goal. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at some of these and try to get a few of these solved and graphed. Alright, so the first one we have y minus 3. I'm going to go ahead and write these over here to the side because of spacing. Is going to be, it says greater than or equal to negative 12. If it is helpful to you, I would recommend continuing to break that inequality into two parts. So we're going to start on the side with the variable. I go to this negative 3 here. The opposite of minus 3 is plus 3. So I'm going to plus 3 to both sides. That means this goes away, so I only have the y left. Bring down that symbol, and then negative 12 plus 3. We know with our integer rules, if you have different signs, you're going to subtract. You're going to keep the sign of the higher number. So in this case, your answer would be y is greater than or equal to negative 9. I would go back over here, and let's see, I could start by just putting this negative 9, negative 8, negative 7, negative 6, negative 5, negative 4, and then I'll put negative 10 here. I do see here that my inequality symbol has the line underneath, so from the last video it tells us that if there's a line underneath, that circle is going to be closed on your graph. So I'm going to go here to my negative 9. I'm going to close the circle. It said y is greater than, so I need my arrow facing towards numbers that are greater than negative 9. In this case, well, in all cases, that would be to the right. Alright, the next one you'll see is a little different. What would throw you off here is that it's written differently than you are used to seeing. You could rewrite that. If you rewrite it, the hard part is you've got to change the symbol around. So I'm just going to keep it as is and solve just as it is. So negative 14 is less than or equal to 8 plus x. I'm going to go ahead and divide my problem there into two parts. I'm going to see that this currently is a positive 8, so I need to subtract 8 there. If I subtract 8 from that side, I must subtract 8 from this side. I'm going to bring down my variable. I'm going to bring down my inequality symbol. Negative 14 minus 8. I'm going to go ahead and solve that, which is going to give me negative 22. So now I'm going to read this inequality to myself. It says here x is, and then I know that this is greater than because my mouth is open to the x. So x is greater than or equal to negative 22. So I'll just go back up here. I'm going to start with negative 22 here. I'm going to do negative 23 there, negative 21 there. Really, I am a fan of if you can put 3 points on a graph, really that's all you have to have in these cases. If I go back over here to my problem, I see that there is an equal sign underneath there that tells me my circle is going to be closed. I read that problem as x is greater than or equal to, so I need to go in the direction of your greater than, and that'll work. Okay, all right, let's take a look at another couple here. Let's erase a few things. It doesn't want to erase up there. Sorry, I don't have a very large eraser set on here, but we can make this work. All right, so we have t minus 4 is less than negative 4. I'm going to break my equation into two parts. My goal is to get the variable by itself. I start over here on the side with my t. I'm I'm going to say that's negative 4. I need to do the opposite of that as positive 4, which means I need to do positive 4 here. I'm currently left with t here, my symbol here. And then I have negative 4 plus 4, which is going to give me 0. So t is less than 0. So again, I like to put 0, and then I'm going to put a number above that, a number below that. This time, if I go back over here to my problem, originally there is not an equal sign there, so that tells me when I go to graph that I do not need a closed circle. I need an open circle. It says t is less than 0, and I know that less than is going to be going this way. And so I am done. Alright, one more problem here. We have negative 9 is greater than or equal to 2 plus d. I'm going to separate my problem. I'm going to start on the side with the variable. This is a positive 2. To get rid of positive 2, I'm going to subtract 2, which means I'm going to subtract 2 here. That leaves me with only d on this side. Bring down my inequality symbol. Negative 2 minus 9 is going to give me negative 11. I go back over here to my graph. I'm going to put my negative 11, 1 more than that, 1 less than that. That for me is just a good reminder of which way I'm going to go on my particular graph. Okay, I'm going to read this inequality. D is less than or equal to negative 11. You see I have my equal sign there, so I'm going to close the circle. It says less than, so I need to make sure I'm going in the direction of problems that are smaller than negative 11. Alright, thank you for watching, and have a great day.